Hello, who is info?
Hey Becky, it's Dana. I don't know who info is, but
Oh, it was me. Hey, Becky.
oh.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. How are things going with your property in Arizona?
Things have been going really well, really well.
Yep.
Uh, but this last month or two has been the busy time here, and now it's starting to heat up, and we'll be we'll be getting into a slow time. So, if you have any pointers, anything you can suggest for us, I know you don't have a place here anymore, but
Yeah,
you know the deal out here, so.
yeah. And the data's all the same, so let's look at some lead times for I'm gonna pull up AirDNA for summer season. Gonna be pretty last minute, of course. Hold on. So much stuff. Okay, you're in Mesa, right?
Yeah.
Trying to pull it up first so it doesn't slow my computer down.
I know somebody asked Emily this last week. Do we have access to DNA, or is that is that now restricted?
No, yeah, they're not able to provide like access for everybody because AirDNA restricts how many people can log into one account. So what they do is they offer, I believe they have a code where you can get a discounted rate on it. I believe that's what they offer.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I haven't been on their DNA in quite a while.
Hmm. Majority of the stuff that I get on here, I can also find on Price Labs nowadays in the marketplace. Um, but
Yeah.
for sometimes it's like I don't know. I like the way that this lays it out for different information. Like I love the lead time. They both have different lead time options, and I use both of them constantly. But for summertime, how many bedrooms do you have? Four or five?
It's 5.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So you use a range of 3 to 6.
I do. When it's like seasonality doesn't really make a difference with how many bedrooms it is. It's more like small home versus large home, right? Because in the summertime, small homes are gonna get like a lot more like, midterm stays, maybe even booked up for the whole summer. And larger homes are gonna be more short term. So,
Okay.
okay. So then we have booking lead time for May still has pretty good lead time. Majority of like a lot of bookings coming 90 plus days in advance. Do you remember seeing this part before? Or should I go over
Yeah,
it?
it's been a while since I've been on AirDNA, but yeah, it's familiar, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this part right here is based on like the last 12 months, and it's just saying that this time last year, about 91% of the bookings happened, 90 plus days in advance, 13% happened 60 plus days in advance. So we have 34% of the bookings happening, months in advance. But
Mm.
that doesn't mean like 34% of 100% of the month. So then we always have to go look at occupancy.
I wonder if you zoom in on the area a little bit, will it? be more accurate because I know
It would matter.
um,
Yeah,
maybe
it would make a difference.
because I know the sort of outlying area in Mesa is very kind of rural, and you're not going to get a lot. It's different from the suburbs.
Yeah, we can draw something. Typically won't make too much of a difference. Is your property
So it's kind of you see that area, the Groves are kind of more Mesa downtown, kind of more that area, closer
this?
to there anyway. Yeah.
I don't like getting it too small because there's not enough properties to even compare to, especially when a lot of the high performing properties in a small area like this might be more scattered. Um, but let's take a look. Okay, so just for expected occupancy for May, we're just looking at May, right? So expected occupancy based on the last 3 years is on average about 57, 58%, 57%. So we can typically get about 5 to 10% more than the market. So then we go back. Still about 34, I don't know, looking at May or June. I don't know, but about 34% for 60 days plus, which if we're in April right now, right? April, May, we're right at a little under 60 days. So we should have at least 34%-ish booked. Um, so was it 50? Is it 57% expected occupancy?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said. Okay,
Yeah.
so 30 days and 57%. So about 17, 18, 19 days booked. And then 34% of that. So around 5 to 7 days booked right now would be ideal. Do you have bookings for May yet?
Yeah, we do. Got about 10 days.
Okay, good. So you're a little ahead of the market. That's okay. That's a few dollars difference, not a huge. Like if you were to like in a sense of like your base price wise, that's just like a few dollar difference. So that's good. How many do you have in June so far?
June is dead. Nothing. June, June, July, and August, all dead. A little
Okay,
concerned about those months.
so let's see what expected occupancy should be. Probably only expecting a few days as of right now, at most. So same expected occupancy around that 57%-ish. So hopefully like 65-ish is what you can expect. So about the same. Well, right now we're farther in advance, so more of that 90 days plus. And we're doing 65%, 12%. So yeah, like 2 or 3 days would be like normal to have to see booked right now for most of these, about 2 or 3 days. Okay, so can you screen share and let's look at your prices for the summer.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely need to look at our pricing because we were getting some help until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yep. I would say pricing definitely go back to like May, April. So these are like 500 on the weekends. Yeah. Okay, go to May. Okay, so for whatever reason, your June is like your pricing is very high compared to $100 higher than May. which it should be lower. Okay. Are you doing price labs?
Yeah, but I also just got access to the hospitable dynamic pricing, and I'm looking at it here. I just wondered if you have you used this, or do you have any recommendation on it?
Yeah, I don't recommend it at all. Um, like when they first came out with it, and from what I've heard from it, and when I compare my own properties, they're very much targeting the people who don't use pricing at all. Um, and any pricing strategy at all. So this is like a very, very bare minimum option. And when I compare it to the properties that are performing well, like Dana's in this call, when I compare it to the pricing that we consistently get for her property, Hospitable always recommends much lower pricing, which doesn't make any sense when we're consistently getting the pricing we have. So it's similar to Airbnb smart pricing to where they're consistently low, and I don't recommend it at all, personally, especially if you're doing good with price labs. I
Yeah,
also don't like that Hospitable isn't like transparent on where they pull this information from, and Price Labs has all of the data that you can look through yourself. I like that.
okay.
Yeah.
So okay, well that's good to know. Because I know there are big differences between Price Labs and this and Hospitable. And I was just curious what how you felt about it. Yeah,
Yeah. Even hours only putting your weekdays at, I would be surprised if you're getting 300 for weekdays in the summertime, but that might be because it's in advance. Can we go into your price labs?
I don't have it at the moment actually. We kind of we let that slide for a couple of months.
Okay. Well, I would definitely set that back up.
Yeah.
It does look like your pricing for summer is pretty high, and it must just be based off of, I don't know what.
Yeah, we reached out to someone that was recommended to us, and we tried that for a couple of months. I don't think they were very good, so we got rid of them. I think it's definitely time to get back to Price Labs.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Of
Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
course. Of course. Of course. Okay. Jeff, how are things going?
Pretty good. I got Superhost today, so very exciting.
Ooh, that is
Yeah,
super.
which only been like 2.5 months, so it's really great. But I did have one question about like what that means for my pricing now. Should I change anything? I mean, previously I was looking to be in like the 50th percentile, obviously a month out, maybe three-quarter percentile. Um, I don't know, 3 or 4 months out, something like that. I think that was the general range. But now this is the yeah. Should I be thinking anything differently? The question.
Not yet. You want to you don't want to just react to it. What you're going to notice is typically happens when you start to gain these things is you start to see there's more trust, right? More credibility, more trust. So you start to see an increase in occupancy, and that's when you can start increasing price. But you have to see the effect happen first of having Superhost.
That makes sense. My occupancy is like near 100% because the two child property, it's not 100% because there are occasionally orphan nights that are
Mhm.
happening during the week. But that, yeah, with the child properties, it makes it a little difficult to properly gauge. So, I mean, if I'm basically looking at every night, then obviously pricing is too low and should slowly creep up a little bit. Is that a fair assessment?
I like the 30 to 90 day mark. Yes.
Okay,
I think it's a
got it.
little
Okay,
determined if you're getting booked like within 30 days, 100% or really
that doesn't
high,
mean much.
it doesn't really mean that the big property needs to increase price.
Got it. Yep,
But there is a balance somewhere in there, but I'd have to see
sure.
that.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Nope. That totally makes sense. The further out would be a good indication. Cool.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that's my only question right now. Thank you.
Okay. No, what's a hard?
Hi.
Hey.
I have a couple of quick questions and then want to take a look at pricing if you have time. One, it last summer, so I have two properties, one in Raleigh and one in Indy, and both of them performed pretty well in the summer. However, we got a few really high ticket bookings a few months out, and then they ended up canceling last minute, and so we then ended up getting booked at a really low rate or lower than I would have liked. And so just wondering, do you ever adjust your cancellation policies going into higher seasons, or do you just recommend keeping them flexible?
I do like to. It's hard, right? Because they don't allow you to do it based on seasonality, which I thought coming in 2026 they were going to do, or at least event driven. And so when I start to notice that that flow of bookings comes in for summertime, I do increase to a little bit higher, maybe like a moderate cancellation policy, depending on how new I am of a property,
Yeah.
right? I'm pretty established, I've got momentum going, like I'm doing well, that I will increase it to more of a moderate cancellation. And
Okay.
then, if summertime is high season, then, come June or so, I start getting more flexible for low season again.
Okay. That makes sense.
We have
What
people
do you
like book.
consider moderate? Like 25% they don't get back, or
We don't get to determine that. It's moderate on Airbnb. So whatever,
oh, okay, they have a criteria.
based on
Okay,
their determined date, be 30 days in advance, which is still not great. But when you start to get into like strict cancellation policy, like the algorithm doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, that is really helpful. And then second thing, I have a like a welcome guidebook made on Canva for both my properties. I'm just wondering, how do you add that to your listing? Because it doesn't allow you to send external links through messages, so I can't add it to my like check-in message. So wondering what the best way is to add that.
Mm. Do you have a QR code for it that you can upload a photo for? Which I guess it has
Don't.
for private information in it, for the property. You could do a QR code where you can add it to a photo, and then if you can send photos in your messages, that would be an option. I have I have external links.
I
That's
was
still
gonna say, what guidebook do you use? Like which we use Touch Day. I don't know. Is that what you use?
I just made one on Canva and have it as a PDF in my Google
Okay,
Drive.
gotcha. Okay, because I've sent the link for Touch Day to guest via messages. Um, and that's worked on Airbnb and also like through Hospitable.
Okay.
So I don't know how it works with like a Google
Yeah, maybe I need to
file.
save it a different way and try.
Yeah. Because it works for mine as well. I also have one or a couple that work.
Okay.
I don't know
Gotcha.
what they are right now. I'll have to check. Yeah. I do remember them talking about not being able to do that, but it never flagged me or anything.
Yeah, a couple times that I sent the link, it would just delete it. It wouldn't send to the guest.
Okay.
So strange. But good to know that they let you send some links, so I'll play around with that.
Yeah.
That's all for
And
me.
you should be able to upload a photo, at least one photo to your like one of your messages and
Just give them a code.
give them a QR code. Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay. And then you want to go through your pricing.
Yes, if nobody else has questions, I don't want to take up all the time.
Okay, I think we've been through most. Dana
Okay.
typically here to listen, help with
I
info.
will share my screen. Okay, for today, I wanted to look at my Raleigh properties pricing. So as you can see here, doing good in April, also tend to get some last minute bookings for the weekdays, so I'm not too worried about that. But really trying to fill up May and June, um, especially the weekdays here. So we have all of our May weekends booked, hopefully there's no cancellations there. And then June is pretty open right now. And I've noticed even though our booking window is 21 days for summer, we do tend to get bookings around March and April, or at least last year we got bookings around March and April. So just wondering if I should be adjusting anything here.
Yeah. Let's over on your 90-day your listing metrics. Can we do the say for 90 days? 120 days. Okay, good. So you're like perfect right over it. What does 120 days say? Okay, so that's no concern. Where you're at, so like another verification or validation of that. like I was just saying to David, we were looking at his. I don't personally go off of like the, 21 days or, exactly that.
Yeah.
The idea that it's like 50% before and after. Um, I need it more broken down for myself, like for it to
Fair
make
enough.
sense.
Yeah.
I want to see because I don't want to start lowering prices in order for you to get booked in June and July when in theory nobody's booking that yet or not many
Yeah.
people. So let's just see where you are based on what AirDNA is saying. How many bedrooms is that one for?
4 bed and 3 bath.
Okay. I'll share my screen. Turn off my video to see if it'll load better. My Wi-Fi in the mid, I'm in a midterm currently, and it's not great. Let me let it load off screen first.
Also, I'm curious if you have tried integrating Claude or ChatGPT with any of the softwares that we use here. I was wondering how to connect it to Price Labs to see if there's any dynamic pricing insight I can get.
I have not figured out how to integrate that in. I don't know if there is a connection
Yeah.
I know of. So I know they have their own AI that they do, but no, I have not done that. Okay, so expected occupancy for Raleigh for May, June. Okay, so June and July are pretty similar. About whatever, 67, 66% expected. Same for July, so probably about 70, 75% we can expect for June and July. Okay, 61, so like 65 to 70 for May. Okay, so pretty similar. I have taken screenshots and seen its opinion on,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
playing around with it now, so if I learn anything, I'll bring it to the next room.
yeah. The one thing that I want is not going to pull up. Okay, there we go. So for May, we should have, okay, we're looking at about 65%. So what we want, I don't know how many days, I'm assuming 30 or 31 days. 31 days, 65%, 20, 4. That doesn't make sense. 4. Okay, so about 4 to 5 days booked. We're about 60 days out, a little less than 60 days. So about 4 to 5 days booked for May. And I'm pretty sure you're pretty booked in May, right?
Yes, we have about 16 days booked.
Okay. And then for June, there's about 70%. Or about more than 60 days out. So 25. Oops. So again, about 5 days, 6 days for June as well. Looks like
Same, it's 6 days for June.
okay, so that's good. And what was May?
May was 16 days.
Okay. So it sounds like June and July are kind of pretty much on track. There could have been maybe some more opportunity for revenue in May, but for June and July, they're pretty on track. So,
Right.
price saying it's on track, this is saying it's on track, and like right on track. So it's not telling me that you're like super low price for June and July either.
Yeah.
Doing pretty good there.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to pull down my prices because I do want to optimize my revenue for the summer. So
Ah,
it's good to know that we are on track.
yep, that sounds like it's on track. Can you screen share one more time?
Yeah.
Look at some other things just to see. Can you go to the neighborhood data? What I'm doing is obviously just going through multiple ways to validate, what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so for the top chart, can you scroll up a little bit and go to the chart options and then click on upcoming bookings and then my bookings from last year? You were live last summer, right? Yep.
Yes.
Good. Okay, and then go back and okay, so all the purple ones, oh no, all of the well, yeah, purple and green. Okay.
Yeah, upcoming is green.
Green, so it looks like they're a little bit lower than last year's for the most part, except for the graduation was better. So for some reason, yeah, April and May were a little bit low this year on rates, but then looks like June.
A lot of last minute bookings for April at least, March and April both.
Gotcha. What did let me look back. What did yeah, April, May on AirDNA based on last year said there's a good probably like 30% or so, 30+% of people book 60 plus days in advance. So a lot of those are higher revenue rates.
Yeah.
So for next year, some more opportunity in those months. As like I know, like coming out of June or January, February is coming out of low season, and then it picks up kind of quick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being on top of that. But then looks like rates for June and July are pretty good right now. The bookings you're getting so far higher than last year's, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the bottom one, you can see if you hover over any of these dates, like all the grayed out is what's booked so far. So if we look, let's go look at like June. And maybe you have to click on it. Okay. No, it's not telling you. Go back to the chart options. Yeah, do last year data. Okay, and then go back down. Yeah, just click on any of these or hover over any of them. You might have to click on it. There it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally, I don't know how I have mine set up, but it tells me not only like what last year's specific. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so market occupancy is 19% right now, and today last year was 23%, so just slightly higher. And there's still another 40% or so to be booked for that
Hmm.
day, June 12th. So a large amount of people are still coming in for that day, and you're already booked. So if we look at some other ones, look at some other high points, maybe ones that aren't booked yet. Yep. Okay, so that one is a weekday, so pretty slow. What about that next high point? Yep. So last year, 81% of properties got booked, but right on track, same occupancy as last year. And I would say a majority of the time when you see that like a day or a month or whatever has been booked like 20%, a lot of the time that's people like who have come in and gotten the super low rates like that first 10 to 20% or people are just taking advantage of discounts, new properties, low rates, and
Yeah.
it's slowed down after that. And the next like 10 to 20% are where the real rush of premium
Yeah,
rates.
this is a good thing to look at for how much is still to come.
Yeah, it makes you feel better when you're worried about not getting it booked. It wasn't actually booked normally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much more time do you have? A bit. Oh, yeah, I would say things look good.
Awesome.
How
So
is
you said you're primarily looking at AirDNA to understand how much of a booking window, what's the more accurate booking window than the 21 days this gives you?
yeah,
Okay.
because it doesn't make sense to me because right now that would tell me if you click on that, what does that say for June? So that would insinuate to me that majority of people start booking 58 days out
Yeah.
when we that there's a whatever 13% or something like that booking 90 plus days out. It just doesn't
Yeah.
align. I like that AirDNA is more broken down.
Yep. Definitely. Okay, well, seems like we're on track. Nothing to change here.
Yeah. What about um okay, two questions. Football season, how is that looking so far? And then your other property.
I'm not sure I know anything about football season actually.
Oh, so let's go look. Let's get calendar. And let's go. Can we do a monthly view?
Yeah.
Or sorry, yearly. And then let's go to September, October, November. Okay, so all of these
Or
dark
wide
blue.
open.
Yep. Okay, so can you hover over any of the dark blue there? So it should say exit out and just hover over the rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So football games. Okay, so good ways to optimize for these, like two things, right? Because if you're not getting bookings yet, you shouldn't have a lot of bookings, but I would expect to see a few
Okay.
now. Another thing you can do, so we should look at prices, but then also in Hospitable, I don't think you could do this in Price Labs, or I haven't figured out how, but in Hospitable, there's a rule where you can make it to where people can't check in or out on certain days. And so for these dark blue high demand, you can tell that
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Friday or Saturday, whatever game, like figure out what day the game is and make sure people cannot check in or out on that day specifically.
Okay.
Even though
And
rates,
Hospitable allows you to do this per like based on dates.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all or nothing. Either you do it for all Saturdays or you do it, individually.
I see.
So that's pretty nice because then even though you have a 3-day minimum, people can book a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it screws your Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It forces people to book the most expensive days.
yeah. Okay. So we wouldn't want any check-in or check-out on any of these dark blue days.
No, just the event day.
Okay.
Only the event day. That way they have to book the day before and the day after.
Yeah.
If you do it on all of the days, then you're really limiting
Yeah.
visibility. Yeah. And what's nice about that rule too is I say visibility, but you still see the day as available. People just can't click on it.
Okay.
Have to book around it.
Unless they extend it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would figure out, I mean, there's a schedule, there's always like a schedule you can look up, but whatever
Yeah.
day the game is, and then yeah, that one. I really
Okay.
like. And then the reason we don't do it for all Saturdays, because in theory we'd like it to where nobody ever checks in or out on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't. I mean,
But in January, I would have taken any Saturday and Sundays. So
it doesn't work unless it's like a really high demand event.
yeah. Okay, that is good to know.
Yeah, of
Thank you.
course.
Becky, I have a question. Speaking on that with trying not to have people check in and out on days that are a high demand or I guess holiday or something. I think at Palms we have someone, and I don't think there's anything we can do now, but we have a check-in on 4th of July and no one booked prior to that. I don't know if we should be going in. We have nothing booked right now at our other property. And if we need to like adjust anything or how that looks or impacts us. I'm trying to see what we have open right now at Palms and what your thoughts are on that. We have like a 5-night booking starting 4th of July, which I don't know, they're not going to be able at that point to check in until like our check-in time is at 4 o'clock. So I don't know what they're in Jacksonville, which is like I don't even know. I just looked it up, like a 4 or 5 hour ride. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, or if I mean, it's booked and we're not going to cancel the booking, but what should we be doing?
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to cancel it because I believe that for that weekend, because 4th of July is on a Saturday, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a weekend that's a high demand, not
Yeah.
particularly before it. And so because there's that 5-day gap, you'll see on like Airbnb, I've put in the length of stay discount and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like flattened out those rates to attract somebody into those days. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so it just
Okay.
depends. Like on Price Labs, it'll tell you like it's not always like for football games, it's easy because people are coming in the night before and the night after. You know that. And holiday weekends, they could be coming in on the holiday and then spending the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this case, that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, they're the 4th through the 9th. So it's not like they're coming in for like a night or two and then leaving. They're here for a couple days. Um,
Yep.
okay, that's fine. And then so that I mean, we're pretty booked up. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have, I think, 6 nights and that's it open in July at Palms. And then the other house, we have the 3rd of July, 4th of July, and that whole following week open. I don't know if like we just hold out and hold on our prices, because if you're talking and like running the data like you have been doing for other people on AirDNA, I think we're probably booked out more than, where we would expect to be based on our market, I'm imagining. So I think just hold tight for now. Would that be your advice, or what do you think?
Yeah. So for like Palms, it's definitely more occupied than I would like to see it. But as you talked about a few months ago, sometimes it's more comfortable just to know what's upcoming. So there's that balance. Um, as for Sweet Memories, I am not sure. I'd have to look. I don't know where. We can look at. Let's just look at Bradenton on AirDNA right now and see
Okay.
what is like what should be based on history right now.
Okay. I mean, I imagine with both, we're probably booked more than that, but then again, okay, I think with that just confirms that we hold our pricing for where we're at right now and
Yeah.
wait it out. As I mentioned in prior calls to you too, like I'm a little nervous. I feel like every day there's new properties, hitting the market, and then they have their new listing discounts that are there, or maybe getting more visibility. So I'm just like, I don't want to sell myself short and lower pricing, but I just want to feel better with, I think, numbers and knowing where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, for Palms, I mean,
Yeah.
booked out as far as you are and as much as you are, that should be pretty comforting. Like if it
Hmm.
were just me, I would raise the rates because I'm a bit more aggressive, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't have nearly the bookings, there'd just be a little bit higher rates.
Yeah.
Um, but that's, the balance there.
Hmm.
And so we'll see what it says. It's more than
Yeah.
likely, I guess I don't know until I see it, off
Okay.
the top of my head. I don't think that people coming into the market is an issue at all as well. especially for Palms, right? Because 4 bedrooms in the area are not nearly as saturated as 3. And then
Mhm.
even the 3 bedrooms, you definitely have more of like one of the higher end properties, probably at least the top 10 in the top 10% still. And so it
Mhm.
doesn't matter all these like I know there's a lot of properties coming in with pickleball courts, but
Mhm.
in all these properties, there's like a few that are coming in. So it's
Yeah.
really not that many. And your Airbnb is going to prioritize your established property that has great reviews, has Superhost, is in the top whatever percent, way more than these new properties. They really
Okay.
value that. Uh, sorry, lost my train. Okay. Occupancy for June and July expected, let's say 71%. So you could probably expect to see 75, 80% for June and July. And then
Mhm.
right now, go look. Okay, so for June, we're, you know, 90 plus days out, so really only 21%. So out of 31 days, I guess, what did I say, 75%, 21. So really only about 5 days are expected to be booked in June right now, and
Yeah.
about July.
7. We have all but 7 days booked in June.
Yeah. So then
Oh.
way ahead of the market. That means people are loving your property. You're building a lot of credibility. You probably could have gotten a few more dollars out of it.
Mhm. In July, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think same thing, like 7 open nights. Sweet Memories might have a little more openings. Looking right now. Actually, oh no, that's April. April's totally booked. June has 1, 2, 3. And then they have like a whole week, 4, 5, 6. We're still above if there's only, we're well above it for both. So just hold firm on pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I would hold firm. Like
Okay.
we're well above the market in occupancy. There's no reason.
Even with like the booking lead time, because I feel like it's longer, at least on like our Airbnb insight information, it's like 80 plus days or something like that, 100 plus days. So now I don't know, we're getting close to, it's April now, so we're creeping up on that lead time. I don't know if that we need to adjust anything there. Oh, there we go.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool.
If you're above the market, then there's no reason to like do anything at all. Like definitely don't drop. If you were like with the market or below, I would say drop prices, but there's
Mhm.
no reason to right now. Your properties are excelling. And in
Okay.
reality, this could be like a $20 difference on the base price, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
might have been like $500 in total that you could have, if you would have raised the price, that maybe would have been the difference that you got. But instead, you have that security that those days, those months are booked now. It's more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
well exceeding the market. Like Airbnb loves that, so it's great for the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. All right. Well, let it be.
wouldn't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we have like 15 more minutes. Do you want to go through your other property, sir?
Yeah, I love that. I'll share my screen again.
Cool.
Okay. Other property is in Indy. It's also 4 bed, 2 bath, sleeps 10. We are falling below market right now, so that's what the
Okay.
occupancy looks like. And have been getting again a lot of last minute bookings for this property too.
Okay. Have there been any, just like preface it, any cancellations recently or bad reviews?
No bad reviews. Our last, I would say we've never gone below a 4, but our last 5 reviews have been 5 stars. And our property, I think, is at 4.9 right now. So doing okay on reviews. No cancellations recently. It's just been slow.
Okay. So what can we do here? It's slow across the board. So
Yeah, so our minimum price is 100, and in March I got a lot of last minute bookings at that 100 mark. So this time I'm experimenting with keeping it the minimum a little bit higher to see if um, I'm able to optimize on those last minute bookings.
yes. So let's see again. Same process for me of like figuring out, you know, if you, when I hear that you're getting a lot of last minute bookings, that tells me that the prices in advance are either too high or it's
Hmm.
just a last minute market. One of the two. So I
Yeah.
like to see first, like, when are people booking in this market? So let me take a look. So for May, June, and July, okay, so May is 26%, 90 plus days. June is 20%, 34% for July. These are like how many, whatever, reservations are made in advance.
Okay.
Let me look at expected occupancy. May is about 60% expected. So about 60%, 65 for you. Same for June. And about 70% for July. Okay, so then go back. So it's slow in May too, right?
Yeah. I did make the mistake of not keeping the no check-in on this date for Indy 500 because I have those days booked, but then the day before is not booked for that.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a new thing to learn. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
But yeah, pretty open in May. Memorial Day weekend is open currently. Only 2 weekends booked.
okay, so we're expecting about 65% occupancy and we have
We have 8 days booked.
six, six, oh, and we are a little more than under 60 days in advance. So let's say 30. So it is kind of saying that about 6 to 7 days right now is expected based on historical. Do you
Okay.
already graduation booked?
I'll just share my screen.
Okay, good. So you have Indy.
Indy 500 is booked, and then one graduation weekend is booked.
Okay, and what is this other one for the 507?
It's a concert, I believe.
You just hover over the rate. I don't know why yours doesn't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not super high demand, but it is a good demand. But based on what you have booked so far, that's very on track. Okay, Morgan Wallen. I would keep that date in mind, the 8th. I would check on that neighborhood data and see how many people are already booked. Obviously, it's not going to be based on last year because concerts are kind of a one-off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see. Yep, chart below that. And it's spring commencement and Morgan Wallen. So already 68% of the market is booked right now. So that makes me think that we probably need to look at prices there.
Yeah.
So May 8th. Okay, hold on. Let me keep on track with this. And then June. So,
June, we have 5 nights booked.
okay, that's pretty on track. And what about July? July should be more. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yes.
on track as well. Okay, so let's go look at that weekend. Can we go and search like as if you were a traveler and just
Yeah.
see how you compare? I don't know if everyone does this, but for, in Price Labs, they have the seasonality and demand factor sensitivity. That works and it helps for like 80% of demand and stuff. But sometimes they can be very far off, especially if it's a one-time event, or in this case, it's like a doubled up event and extra occupancy.
Yeah,
So,
that really shoots up my prices based on any event happening.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's what this area lives for. Okay, let's.
I'm at 1690 for that weekend.
Okay, sorry. What were the dates? That's the concert.
8th to 11th
So let's
May.
do the 7th. So that way they come in on the 7th through the 10th. It's going to be the most likely thing to happen. And which one's your property?
This one. I don't know why it's showing $0 right now.
These ones are much larger homes. Okay, can you zoom out a bit?
Yeah. We are
Or
in my wish list right now, so we're just looking at the comps
yeah,
that I really have. Do you want
okay,
me to do general search?
yeah, let's do general search. Those are much bigger homes. I would typically not going to be able to compete with that. Okay, and then filter. We could do 4 bedrooms. Still far out enough. Okay. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Can we zoom out a bit? Here, 17, 17, 16, 22. Mm, 17. Okay, so far things look good. Okay, so you're definitely not high. Your rates aren't high. They're very competitive. Have they recently changed at all?
I've been going ahead and messing with the prices every week, so
Okay. And then also considering 68% of people already booked, that means like obviously these people are still available. So it doesn't particularly mean that they're correct on their pricing, but it is who you're competing with. And then okay, let's go back to Price Labs. Let's see what the and neighborhood data. Let's look at the actual rates above that people are booking.
did you want to see this?
Nope, on top. Based on like the percentile in the first graph. Yeah.
Let's see.
The 8th, the high point. Okay. I mean, the price keeps agreeing that it's good. Okay, go back to the 8th real quick. Hmm. There's not even like, I wouldn't even say like, there's not even like wiggle room in moving the price. Like we
Yeah.
would underprice ourselves if we went any lower. So I don't think there's any need for that. I would mess with, can we look at your listing?
Yep. Do you want to see the pictures?
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at those. I was gonna see if we can maybe switch around some pictures for a little bit just to get a little boost in the algorithm.
Yeah, I was thinking about changing it to the backyard picture now that it's nice out.
Okay. I love how this one, like, it's like every single picture looks very quality. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be a good picture. It's backyard photos. The one with the lights and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. At least try it for like a week or so. for
Okay.
like 3 to 5 days, something. See if it.
Yeah, I wish we had a better picture of our barbecue grill with everything, but
Hmm, yeah. Okay, then what is your title? Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I'm like, hopefully it says that.
yeah.
Okay, and then it has a does it still have a 3-day minimum on it? Price slabs for that weekend.
Let's see.
Yeah, it says up there the little moon as well.
Yeah. Is that what that means? Minimum stay?
Yep. Did you
Okay.
see during the days it's 2 nights and 3 nights on the weekends, and
Yeah.
then like in a week it'll be 2 nighters on the weekends because it's within 45 days or whatever your minimum is. Um, okay. Hmm. I'm not seeing any red flags to why it shouldn't be booked.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
you
should
could
I
also,
be the 25th to 50th percentile instead of the higher one, 50th to 75th?
yeah, but even when we go and actually look at 4 bedrooms, like
It's
there's very few
comparable.
properties under you,
Yeah.
lower. So I don't think you should have to do that. I think it's very competitive right now. Um, I would mess with the photos a little bit, and then I'd also probably put a length of stay and see just to get like again, use Airbnb's tools, give a little bit of a boost. So in Airbnb, do like if you book 4 nights, you get an extra 10%,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's not
Yeah.
even for the
Um,
just for the boost.
yeah.
I think you have to do it on your multi-calendar. You can even do it from hospitable now too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was usually doing it from here.
Yeah. So these are promotions, but if you go back to your calendar, there's another way. So promotions are really nice because they actually like, yeah, these ones
They
right there.
show us the discounted rate. Yeah.
They have all those benefits and email marketing and everything like that, but they don't allow you to put a minimum on it. And I don't want someone booking 2 nights at a 30% discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather give it this. And either way, you're still providing a great discount, so Airbnb's still gonna boost it.
Yeah.
So I would do one like this.
The
I
three
don't
day.
get super often anymore unless it's like only 2 days or so. Just
Okay, so
because
you recommend for May to do a 3-day length of stay discount or 4-day?
not 3 day, 'cause it's currently already at a 3-day minimum.
Yeah.
Probably do like a 4-day. Or you could do a 3-day just to get people like, I don't know. I do a 4-day for right now, and then next week when it drops down to, or whenever it drops down to a 2-night minimum, then start to offer a 3-night discount.
Okay.
Not something super heavy, just a very light discount just to push it.
Would you say like 8%, 10%?
3 nights. I do 5 for now, and then next week you can increase it in like 10% for 4 nights, and then like increase those by 5% next week. 4%. Scroll up a little bit. You didn't put anything for 4%.
Oh.
I would do 10. Oh, okay. Yeah. I would do 10% for 4 nights. Right. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling too of like
Yeah.
what
Experiment with it.
yeah.
Okay. And then just to confirm here, let's take, for example, 4th of July weekend. So your recommendation would be to not allow check-ins um on Saturday and instead just keep them for Friday.
Well, in this case, it's not a high demand. It doesn't
Mm,
look super popular in your area. There's not a big
yeah.
increase in bookings. So it doesn't really validate being able to do that.
Okay. But in general, that's the idea is.
Yeah.
The one thing though, I don't know how it works. Or where it's gonna impact us is I don't know what your cleaners do if they may charge like time and a half, like extra fee for cleaning on a holiday. That would be the only thing you might have to pay a premium for, which I think we may, but it's okay. If there's a clean, if the other nights don't get booked. So that would be one consideration. That's all.
Our cleaners haven't brought anything up like that so far, so fingers crossed, but that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's the event at the end of July? This week of us.
Let's see.
Gen Con. Interesting.
Yeah.
Looks like you got an awesome booking for it though.
A lot of conferences in July and August. So that tends to be a good season for us.
Yeah. It's nice because Raleigh and Indianapolis are very similar markets.
Yeah.
They're very nice. I love both of those. Those are like my ideal market for myself.
That's good to know. We're less than a year into the indie market, so still figuring out I think we're still figuring out the market, but yeah, there's
Well,
a variety of reasons that bring people in, which is nice.
yeah, like you're just getting into a full high season.
Yeah.
This will be yeah, so that'll be good. Should be
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay,
Okay.
guys.
Well, I'll change the pictures and I'll be back next Monday. Nothing changes.
All right. I'll see you
Thank you
guys
so
later.
much. Have a good one. Bye.